Okay, I'll admit that point of intersection questions tend to be pretty algebra heavy, and a lot of times there is no way on the SAT to avoid that algebra. So we do need to know how to solve these things algebraically. We could do that with substitution here. However, if you are not comfortable with algebra, or you have a history of getting these things wrong for careless mistakes, then if you cannot do algebra here, that's much better because you need to get this right. This is not a particularly hard question. It might be tedious, but it's not particularly hard, and this one sets us up so that we can guess and check if we need to, because the answer choices are something simple. They are just the y coordinate of this point of intersection. So literally, if all of these things are y equals, I can just pick something and see what's going to happen if I plug it into both equations. So let's just start with something simple. A, if I put that in for y in the first equation, which is the easier one, I get something kind of annoying. 2 is equal to x squared. That means that if I take the square root, I'm going to get that x is equal to radical 2. Now that could be right. I could go and try to check it out, but it doesn't seem like a radical is going to come up. These equations look much more simple than that. Plus, I'm also just lazy. I don't want to deal with it. So what I would do here is just kind of table this answer, move on, look at other ones that are going to give me nicer numbers and test those out. If they don't work, then I can come back to this and deal with the messy situation. So this is why guess and check is fine. This is a case where I'd just be like, well, this is too hard for me to do now. Let me try something simpler. And sure enough, if I do y is equal to 4, I get a much nicer number that x is equal to 2. Now, how do I know if that's right? Well, I need to check it in the second equation and see if that same point works in that equation too. So in the second equation here, 4 is equal to 2 times 2 plus 8. Well, that's not true because 2 times 2 is 4 plus 8 is 12. So 4 and 12, not the same number. That means choice B is wrong. So if I keep going, I'll notice that, okay, choice C is going to give me a similar problem as choice A. It's going to give me a weird radical that I don't want to deal with. So I would skip right ahead to choice D and hope for the best here. 16 is equal to x squared. That means x is equal to 4. And then if I plug that into the other equation, 16 is equal to 2 times 4 plus 8. And that is true. 2 times 4 is 8 plus 8 is 16. Check. Done. So look, it's a lot of steps, but at every step I'm just doing a little addition, subtraction, multiplication. It's the kind of stuff that's pretty easy. So it's a little safer if we can guess and check like this, because then we know we're always working with the right numbers. If we do algebra, we might end up doing something, losing a negative, distributing wrong, and using the wrong equation. So I'm always nervous about algebra. And so with these ones, if you can avoid it, it's probably more likely that you're going to get the question right. And there will be 3 or 4 point of intersections on the test. So you do need to understand how to do these in lots of different ways and take advantage of the easier ways when you can.